Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know It, the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dale Minio. Powered by Soy Biodiesel, I'll head to the Ohio State Fair today for an update from the Market Hog Show. It's a 2-day show, so we'll bring you an update today. Final drive in the hog barn will be tomorrow. We'll also be over in the poultry barn, where they'll be wrapping things up there today. This afternoon, we'll get you the final results. You can check ohioagnet.com later this afternoon, early evening, to find out the grand champion or reserve champion in both the chickens and the turkeys. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, follow along as the Ohio AgNet and the Ohio Crop Tour will be brought to you by Ohio Field Leader, your Ohio soybean farmers, and their checkoff. Visit ocj.com for more information throughout the week. Time now, let's check in with our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council and your checkoff dollars at work. Here's Dusty Sonnenberg.
I'm visiting this morning with Scott Porter. He is the CEO and founder of Dynamic Green Products, a bio-based lubricant manufacturer. And Scott, interesting how you guys have been able to partner with the Ohio Soybean Council and Arable Labs in finding new uses and developing products around soybean oil. Tell us everything that you guys have. Are you just strictly a research-based company, or do you do more than that?
No, even though we do partner up with research labs like Arable and third parties like OSC, we conduct our own research, we do our own testing, we own our formulations, we do all the development necessary, and work with ISO-certified manufacturing facilities across the country. So from start to finish, we handle this totality of research, development, testing, formulations, manufacturing, sales, marketing, and distribution. So we are start to finish, own the product process.
A lot of good things going on. Again, I am visiting with Scott Porter, founder and CEO of Dynamic Green Products. They are a bio-based lubricant manufacturer working with the Ohio Soybean Council and Arable Labs.
And thanks, Dusty. Well, a period of mild or even cool air will be settling into the Corn Belt next week. The cold air pushing in behind this system should bring temperatures down a solid 10 to 15 degrees from the highs noted this week. In some areas of the plains, the drop should be more dramatic, going from 100s down to the 80s. The real difference will be with the lower humidity and overnight low temperatures, which have been excessive in much of the Corn Belt and South this week. Overnight lows may go below normal, allowing crops and livestock to get some stress relief. Showers and thunderstorms will also follow the front southward, probably being more widespread than the clusters of storms we've seen so far this week. But with the front moving, areas that will see moderate or heavy rain are likely to be limited as the front drops south. Also, the back-and-forth nature in the upper levels could lead to increased precipitation across the Corn Belt this month as well, as the ridge starts to redevelop in the week of August 12th to the 16th. It could encounter another stalled front that may bring heavy rainfall and severe weather, and a return to a cooler pattern later in the month could still bring more frequent precipitation, though more focus in the east than the west. Time now for our weather update, brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff. Here's the forecast.
Warm and muggy. Thunderstorms are going to be a part of that once again. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at your forecast update. What I'm looking at here in the next 24 to 48 hours is a little bit more fill-in activity. The past couple of days, yes, there's been thunderstorm threats. They've been largely hit and miss, and the scope has not been nearly as impressive as what it could have been. But I'm looking at some moisture being a little bit more impressive over the next 24 to 48 hours coming in from the west. So I think everybody has a chance to see a shower or thunderstorm cluster today or tomorrow. And I think parts of the state hold on to moisture right on through Saturday before it winds down. Still penciling in anywhere from 1/2 to 1.5 inches, maybe 2 in spots. But the thunderstorms are going to be the biggest part of the upper end of any rain range. Everything winds down as we finish the weekend. Sunday looks a little bit cooler and less humid. Monday of next week, I think we'll be dealing with a little bit of thunderstorm activity to start the day in northwest Ohio, but nothing anywhere else. Tuesday, mostly dry. A frontal boundary tries to sag through next Wednesday, Thursday. What that front does is bring us a chance of hit and miss moisture, but it also brings cooler, drier air behind it. I'm looking for us to be rather pleasant by next Thursday afternoon. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, cool, low humidity, very nice setup indeed. We just got to work through this soupiness first before we get there. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Well, anhydrous fertilizer costs less than half of what it did in 2022 as the nitrogen fertilizer's average retail price continues its summer shrinkage. The average retail price of anhydrous in the fourth week of July is $28 less expensive than last month. The nitrogen fertilizer is now $14 a ton cheaper than last year, but $754 less expensive than we saw in 2022. The average retail price of all 8 major fertilizers declined from the previous month, according to the DTN survey data for the fourth week of July. Anhydrous is $14 a ton less than last year. It looks like the average prices of UAN 28 and UAN 32, respectively, those prices are down $6 a ton and $11 a ton from last month. DAP prices dropped $15 a ton from last month, and potash prices were $4 lower than last month. The average price of 1034.0 was just a few cents lower than last month. All fertilizers except one are lower compared to 1 year ago. MAP is 3% more expensive compared to last year, and again, all the others are lower. An Iowa ethanol plant is suing Bunge North America, Inc. in federal court for $7 million, alleging Bunge lost interest in marketing ethanol after terminating a key employee. The Southwest Iowa Renewable Energy, LLC, or SIRE, ethanol plant just south of Council Bluffs, Iowa, in December of 21. SIRE has filed a lawsuit against Bunge North America, Inc., claiming breach of contract for poorly marketing SIRE's ethanol. The Southwest Iowa Renewable Energy, LLC, operates an ethanol plant just south of Council Bluffs, Iowa, and in a lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court of Southern District of Iowa, SIRE is suing for breach of contract after moving to terminate its marketing agreement with Bunge. SIRE also details how a marketing agreement starting in 2020 between SIRE and Bunge first worked well, but then fell apart in late 2022 after Bunge stopped focusing attention on ethanol markets. SIRE seeks to recover at least $7 million in lost income from Bunge. Back with more after this.
Hey, Ohio! Don't miss the Ohio State Fair July 24th through August 4th.
With fair favorites like the butter cow sculpture, livestock animals,
Endless shopping,
delicious fair food,
free live music, thrilling rides and games,
competitions, and so much more.
Enjoy all that the Ohio State Fair has to offer now through Sunday, August 4th.
Tickets on sale at the gate or at ohiostatefair.com.
Attention farmers and co-ops. That's the sound of New Way Ag's high-tech drones spraying thousands of acres. Do you have acres that need sprayed? Get a hold of them at newwayag.com. That's N-U-W-A-Y ag.com. Last year, they sprayed over 11,000 acres in just 24 days. New Way Ag has since increased their fleet and service capabilities. Again, that's newwayag.com, or give them a call, 234-271-2767 to learn more.
If you missed us yesterday at midday, then you may not know the Ohio Pork Council held its 26th annual pork rib-off competition at the Ohio State Fair on July 30th, to the delight of scores of fairgoers who got to sample the award-winning pork while voting for their favorite. Participants from around Ohio, including many longtime competitors, sought awards in categories for ribs, pulled pork, People's Choice, and barbecue sauce. All Ye Barbecue, Delaware, Ohio, was this year's big winner, taking double top honors of Grand Champion Pork Ribs and Grand Champion Pulled Pork. Reserve champion bragging rights went to Bark Brothers Barbecue of Cincinnati for pulled pork and Baney-Q of Columbus for ribs. Columbus-based Baney-Q also took first-place honors for Best Barbecue Sauce and won the coveted People's Choice Award for Most Flavorful Pork. It's always a great time being at the Ohio Pork Council's rib-off, regardless of the outcome, but winning in multiple categories was certainly a highlight for us, said Kathy Baney. We've been coming to this event for 10 years, and we love it. Time now for the Louis Dreyfus Grain Analysis, brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff. Here's Ryan Martin.
Grain market's very choppy on a Wednesday, setting us up for what could be a very interesting finish to the week. At the end of the day on Wednesday, corn was lower. Corn was down all day long, about 3 to 6 cents lower overall. Meanwhile, the soybean market was starting higher. Nice bounce, dead cat bounce, if you will. Moved lower, went back higher, and then we settled off the highs back in the middle of the range for the day. Can we dwell on anything out of this? Probably not. I will tell you, we didn't see another round of weekly export sales, or flash reported sales, I should say. The weekly export sales report will come out on Thursday morning. I don't expect much in that either. The wheat market was trying to figure out whether it was coming or going. Most of the thought process revolved around two things. First of all, quality concerns again in Eastern Europe or Western Europe and in the France and Germany area. Then you get into the Black Sea area, and you've got issues on top of that. Remember, geopolitical strife going on in the Middle East. A lot of the wheat demand, at least right now, is coming out of Egypt's GASC and other in that area markets. And so I think that's really kind of playing into things as well. Is the product going to be able to move, and what's going on? Otherwise, it was another day of serious lack of headlines. I think the weekly export sales report for today is going to be the only thing that this market can trade other than weather, which, let's be honest, still looks pretty good. Some heavier rains in Iowa over the past 24 to 48 hours, Illinois, and we're seeing those rains move eastward into parts of Indiana and eventually Ohio. But heavy rain, not seeing a lot of that. Rain makes grain in the minds of the Chicago Board of Trade as well. So lack of any significant news means this market doesn't have anything to bounce off of. Doesn't have anything to fall apart further on either, but a bounce is not likely at this time. That's your market update. I'm Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. I'll take a look at the overnight figures after this.
Hey, Ohio, exciting news coming to you from Ohio's Country Journal. Subscribe or renew your free subscription by September 20th of 2024, and you could win one of 4 50-inch televisions. Ohio's Country Journal is free, but subscribers have to renew their subscriptions every 3 years to continue to receive it. Subscribe or renew to stay updated on all things Ohio, from agricultural insights to rural lifestyle. Don't miss out. Visit our website today at ocj.com/renew.
Today's market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. As we look to the numbers, September corn down a half at 3.82 1/4 cents. December new crop down a penny, trading 3.98 3/4. If you held that new crop to March of 25, you could get 4.15 1/2, down 1/4 cent. The August soybeans are up 1/4 cent, but at $10.28 3/4 cents. November new crop down 2 3/4 at $10.19 3/4. Again, if you held that crop till next January, you'd be at $10.36 3/4, down 2 3/4. In wheat, September up 1 1/4 at $5.28 1/2. July new crop 25 is $5.88 1/4 and down 1/4 cent. In livestock, August cattle $187.12, down 57. October down 77 at 186.67, and December closed at 187.87, down 30 cents. Better news in livestock. August lean hogs up $1.07 at 92.27. The October closed up $1.15 at 75.92, and December up $1.10 at $68.72. Quite a wide range between August 92 and December 68 in the hog market. September feeder cattle, $257.10, up 15 cents. In October, feeder cattle up 27 cents at $256.15. September Class 3 milk, $21.19, down 6 cents. And October is unchanged at $21.12. The next Ohio Soybean Hometown Tour date is August 6th. It'll be at Arable Research Lab in Delaware, Ohio, and you can still get in on the program there. You can check it out at soyohio.org/hometown to get reservations. And don't forget, the Ohio AgNet and Ohio's Country Journal Crop Tour, sponsored by the Ohio Field Leader Program, a project of the Ohio Soybean Council and Soybean Checkoff, is next week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dale Minio. This is the Ohio AgNet.